To Krakoa. Here there are no rivals. Man and mutant
will be exterminated.
Well. They called me a madman. But I was right. Ultron is actually not terrible like everyone said he would be in early access. No, I'm just kidding. I never actually said anything against that. But I did. I did hold my tongue until I could actually, play with him in comp. And would you look at that? I have 100% win rate with Ultron on my main account. And I got the Celestial too after not playing the game that much the past, few weeks until I hopped back in it recently, past 2 days or so. And I also used my ult account to learn Ultron in GM1, so I have about a 70% win rate overall with Ultron. He's goated. So yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. And the funny thing is, most of these games that I played, we only had 2 healers, which is when Ultron is at his weakest. And in one of those games, we held this team to the first point on the Central Park map, the Convergence map. And mind you, they told me to swap off Ultron after we lost the first capture point, before the payload starts to move. And I was like, hey, if you want another support ult, then someone else play healer. I'm not here to play support. And mind you, after we almost full held them the first capture zone, I knew I wasn't the problem, right? So I didn't swap. And we stayed the same team comp, after we lost the first capture zone. And after holding them, so they couldn't get the first checkpoint, the scoreboard looked like this. I have almost double the kills of both of my DPS. Like, this character is so fucking good, man. And he's so fun to play, too. Like, I heavily doubted people saying that he was bad in early access because of the simple fact that he can 2 to 3 shot squishies, and the fact that he's literally a hit scan flying character. So that means he can constantly apply pressure from more angles more consistently than any other DPS in the game. And the funniest thing is that, Boger, for example, he was saying Ultron is so bad, yada yada yada, when he was playing him in early access, and Necros, who's on his team, was using Ultron in a top 16 lobby in the, $3 million tournament that's going on right now.
It's good. Look, we have the drone for the high ground AO heal, and then Boger is just running out with Snowflake.
That's so good because I feel like you guys don't care. You guys don't care about poke at all. Like when you're my drone, you can't take chip damage. You're just instantly healing, so you can just.
We're just chilling up there.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy because I get the Ultron drone and the Snowflake and just running down the map.
Yeah. It's crazy you guys think I'm doing nothing. It's so crazy.
40% win rate mag, bro. What a
how bad do people want to pretend that Ultron is dog shit? How bad do you guys want to pretend that this hero is bad? It's crazy to me.
And do not get me wrong, I don't think Ultron is like one of the top 5 best characters in the game right now, but he's definitely in like the top 10. And the reason I say this is because of one simple thing. His ult isn't the best. Genuinely, that's kind of it. But I think there's a couple things you can do to optimize, like NetEase can do to optimize his gameplay a little bit more. One, I think they should make it so that his ult lasts like 2 seconds longer and give him 100 overhealth when he uses it. Because unless you get like pocketed, you're gonna die like immediately when you try to use his ult. Unless you have extraordinarily good positioning. And the second thing I think they need to do is make him, allow him to cancel his, faster movement ability, I guess you would call his dash that then makes him move faster, because his movement buff, it lasts for 8 seconds, right? And then when it runs out, you have to wait another 8 seconds to use it. And during those 8 seconds, he is extremely vulnerable because he moves really slow. Like, he is basically Adam Warlock, except he can fly. Honestly, if they just do those 2 things, I think he just might be a top 5 character, I'm not even gonna lie. And while people pointed out that his burst healing isn't like the best, and they are right, like, he doesn't give a lot of burst heals. Like, he'll give good heals over time, which is why you can have, an Ultron with high healing numbers. But people severely underestimate the value that having a constant passive healing bot on a group of people can have. Like dive characters, for example. All of them have combos that can be disrupted by just a little bit of healing, and pretty much all of them cannot deal with flyers. Even Spider-Man, which is the only one that can deal with flying characters, he can't kill Ultron reliably. And Ultron can just put a passive healing bot down on his backline with no cooldown and also give them an extra 75 health for them, which would give them even more time to react to dive. Granted, dive is already dead this season, but this is one of the reasons why, I'd say. And he's not just good against dive, but he's also really helpful for poke comps too. Like, just taking angles and using natural cover while having the Ultron bot on you is really good, because let's say you have Ultron, Iron Man, Human Torch, Storm, Hela, Hawkeye, etc., poke characters. Let's say you have these characters peeking angles. Well, now they have passive healing and 75 overhealth that they can get. But there's a big but here. You should not be playing Ultron if you only have one other healer. I'm not saying it's impossible to win if Ultron's, your second support, because obviously I've done it, but it's gonna take some time for the special ones amongst us, but it's gonna take some time for them to realize that Ultron is not really a healer per se. He's a DPS that can provide passive healing and some utility for his team. He's not the person who will save your tanks from dying, and while he can help with these things, he's not the person who will get you back to full HP very quickly. And his ult is also not something that you can rely on to save your team from offensive ults most of the time. His ult needs to be used really smartly. It's similar to Adam's in a way where like you can't just press Q and everyone's invincible. No, you need to really coordinate with your team and or have good positioning, otherwise your ult is literally useless. But I genuinely cannot stress enough how valuable it is to have a character that applies so much constant pressure and provides constant passive healing to his team. And I remember like before he came out, like people were complaining that his time to kill is lower than Luna or Adam Warlock, and being like, oh look, these characters can kill faster and they do more healing. And I already knew that shit was dumb because sure, in concept this makes Ultron sound bad, but realistically nobody is consistently hitting triple headshots with Luna while someone's standing still, and nobody is consistently off-angling and hitting, you know, consistent headshots with Adam for that time to kill to even actually matter in practice. Like, you will never see an Adam Warlock or a Luna ending the game with more damage than an Ultron. Unless, you know, the Ultron player just sucks, but, you know. And just a couple more final things before I wrap this up that I want to say in regards to Ultron. One, I don't think he's not a character that will always work. Just like most of the characters in the game. You will need to swap sometimes. That doesn't mean he's bad. Like, if you play against a good Hela, it's gonna be much harder for you to play Ultron, for example. But, you know, most of his hard counters are permabanned this season anyway. Like, Hela, she has been in maybe 2 of my games this season. Hawkeye hasn't been in any of them. He's actually been banned in every single fucking game I've played. And the second thing is, this character is really game sense and aim intensive. If you're not great at positioning, you will get absolutely fried in higher elo. If you're playing in lower elo, never mind. But if you don't have good aim, you will not be doing that much with Ultron. He's not a hit scan like Hela, for example, where she can get a lot more damage faster, and she has a bird and a stun that can, you know, save her at points. Now, he's not like that at all. Ultron is really vulnerable, and his primary fire has a bit of a delay between damage intervals. So if you're not hitting those shots consistently, like I would say you need to be hitting at least 50% of your beams, especially the final part of the beam. If you're not doing that, then you're not very good at Ultron, and you need to work on that before you can actually play him. But yeah, I mean, I've been having a lot of fun with Ultron. I assumed that I would have a lot of fun with Ultron after looking at his gameplay that they revealed. Let me know what you guys think of the character so far. This was a bit of a shorter video because I just had to talk about how much I like Ultron this season. Thank you all for watching, and yeah.